In this demo, I'll show you how to add new columns and apply transformations to a Spark data frame using two approaches, withColumn and select. We'll start with withColumn and then explore how select can be more efficient as an alternative when using multiple transformations. The withColumn method in PySpark is used to create a new column or replace an existing column in a data frame by applying transformations. The syntax for the withColumn method is as follows. You specify the withColumn method on a data frame object, and it takes the column name as the first parameter. So this can be the name of a new column or an existing column. And then for the second parameter, it takes a column expression. So this is a transformation that's applied to that column. It can be an arithmetic operation or a function. So in this example here, we can see we're using withColumn to create a new column called age2, which takes the original age column and adds 2 to it. So you can see 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's the result here. 5 plus 2 is 7, and that's the result here. So let me demonstrate the withColumn method. So I have a notebook here where I have created the same data frame that stores the country's information. And I've displayed it here. Let me use the withColumn method to create a new column called population_m that contains the population in millions. So it's just the result of this population column divided by 1 million. So to do that, I can do df.withColumn, and then it will be population_m. That's the name of the column. Now, to reference the population column object, I will need to use the call function. I can also use DataFrame attribute access, but let me just import the call function. PySpark.sql.functions import call, where I use the call function and then specify the population column. And then I divide that by 1 million. So that is the expression or the transformation, and that is the column name. And then let's do .show. So let's run that. And as you can see, that's worked. So this is the population in millions. But let's display the data frame df again. So I can do df.show and the top 5. So the population_m column is not there. And that is because data frames are immutable. So to keep this data frame, which is the result of this, I need to reassign it back to the variable df or to a new variable called df_2, for example. So let me do that. So I'll do df_2 equals this. So let's run that. And now let's display df_2.show. And then let me also do above that df.show 5. So this was the original data frame, and this is the transformations assigned to a new variable df_2. So just to be clear, this withColumn operation does not modify the original data frame. It creates a new data frame object, which must be assigned back to a variable if you want to persist the changes. If we use the withColumn method and reference an existing column, then it will replace the values in the existing column with the new expression. So for example, let me use this original df, and I will make the values in the country name column uppercase. I can do that using the upper function. So I will need to import the upper function from PySpark.sql.functions, and the upper function will take a column as an argument and replace the values in that column with the values in uppercase. So I will do df.withColumn, and the column is called country_name. And then the upper function will take one argument, which is the column name, so country_name, and it will replace the values with the same values in uppercase. So I'll do .show 5. So as you can see, that's worked. The values are in uppercase. Okay, so to apply transformations to multiple columns, we can chain multiple withColumn methods together. So let me paste in some code. So this code takes the original data frame and applies a withColumn method it takes the country name column and returns the values in uppercase. The second one creates a new column called population_m, which is the result of the original population column divided by 1 million. And then I display the top 5 rows. So let's run that. As you can see, that's worked. Now, while the withColumn method works well for adding or modifying a single column, using it multiple times like this creates a new data frame for each transformation. So this creates a new data frame, and then this creates a new data frame on top of that. And this can be inefficient. It can slow down the performance. Instead, doing these transformations directly in the select method allows us to apply multiple transformations at once and improve efficiency. So let's rewrite our transformations using select for better efficiency. So to do that, let me just paste in some code. So rather than using the withColumn method, I'm using the select method. I've used the upper function on the country name column, and then I've aliased that as country name. And then I've returned the continent column. And then I've also returned the population_m column. So I'm not returning the population column this time, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm also returning the area_kilometers squared. And then I'm displaying the results. So I've applied all of the transformations in this single select method. So let's run this. And as you can see, this also works. And we've applied multiple transformations in this select method. And this should often be a preferred approach because it applies multiple transformations in a single step. Great. So this was an introduction on how we can apply transformations to our data frames. We looked at the withColumn method and applying transformations directly in the select method. But just remember that since data frames are immutable, always assign the result back to a variable to keep the changes.